Welcome back, everybody. We're here to pull cards for October the 28th. I am going to be pulling one card for each sign. We just had one pop out, so that's going to be for Aries. All right, so October 28th. If you guys know your sun, moon, and rising, you can get a lot of good juice out of this video. If you know your other planetary placements, you can get even more. So, short video, lots of information. Thank you to those of you who are remembering about the contest and commenting down below. I do appreciate those comments. That does help these videos to be shown to more people. And the more people I help, the happier I am. So keep those comments rolling. All right, I think we're done shuffling. Let's roll. Aries. Page of Swords showing up in reverse. This does tell me that you're doing some type of digging for information. This can be some type of research that you're actually working on, something where you're looking for information for some type of work project or school project, but this can also be stalking to get information about another person, or checking their phone or their face, what do I want to say, social networking accounts, stuff like this. So this could be stalking, this could actually be doing research. Bottom line, whatever it is that we have going on here, Aries, we do see you digging for information today. Now, let's look at Taurus. Taurus, you have the High Priestess showing up in reverse. What's going on here? Taurus, you've got something going on where you have a bad feeling about something. You have a gut instinct or intuition that is happening, and I feel like you're just ignoring that. You don't want to acknowledge that. You don't want to recognize that coming in, and so you're just taking that little red flag and sweeping it up under the rug as if you didn't see that. So obviously, advice on this is you don't ever want to do that. There's a reason that Spirit sends us those red flags. We want to pay attention to them because they're important. So try not to sweep those under the rug. If you catch those coming in and you catch yourself trying to do that, recognize that it's really important to face the truth about things. And the earlier we can do that, then the better off we'll be whenever the end of the game comes around. Okay, so that's for Taurus. Next up, let's look at Gemini. Geminis, we have the Temperance card coming up in reverse. This just tells me that there's going to be something happening today that you are very impatient about. It's going to be really hard for you to maintain your patience in this situation. For some of you, I do think that Temperance in reverse is exactly what you might think it would mean just from the word, which is some of you are going to be not just indulging in some type of mind-altering substance, but overindulging. So, be careful. If that's not the type of thing that you want to do, then, take precautions. And if you're totally okay with doing that, then at least make sure that you're doing that around people who you feel safe with, that would look out for you if you get a little bit out of control. Okay? So that's for Geminis. Next up, let's look at Cancer. Cancers, you guys have the Two of Clubs showing up here. To me, the Two of Clubs just means that you have a decision to make, and whatever you decide is absolutely fine and good. There's no bad options here. And so it's really what's most important to you as a priority to take forward and make progress with. All right? And I don't really see you having any trouble making this decision today, Cancers. Next up, let's look at Leo. Excuse me. So Leos, what we have showing up here is the Ten of Clubs. This tells me that you're picking up some new type of responsibility. Sometimes this comes up whenever we escalate a romantic relationship from one level to another, because now we're becoming responsible to that person for certain things that we weren't before. But this can also talk about picking up new responsibilities within the family. This can be having new duties at work. So some type of new responsibility that you're picking up here today, Geminis. Next, that wasn't Geminis, that was Leos. I am so sorry. That responsibility may have to do with the Gemini, though, for that to pop out of my mouth right then. Now, let's look at Virgo. So Virgos, you guys have the Chariot showing up in reverse. This is plans that you have made, collaborations that you're doing with somebody else coming off the rails. This can talk about, specifically, this can talk about a marriage really sort of coming loose. Uh, Whenever I see the Chariot coming up in reverse, because the Chariot right side up talks about a successful marriage in many cases. So when it comes in reverse, that talks about sort of the opposite of successful, not really what we want in a marriage at all. So there could be something like that going on, but also, I mean, it doesn't have to be that. This can also be where you're collaborating with other people to create some type of goal or target, and that's just coming off the tracks. There's something going on where you're not going the same direction as another person or other people, and so there's a little bit of an obstacle, a slowdown, a delay while you guys stop and regroup and figure out, okay, where do we go from here? All right. So that's for Virgos. Next up, let's look at Libra. Libras, we've got the Ace of Swords showing up here. This just tells me that you're having some type of epiphany today, some type of new understanding of something that you did not understand before, and it doesn't just impact one part of your life. These are sort of the bigger understandings for me. These are things that kind of make a lot of different little puzzle pieces fit together once you understand this. So very nice card to have come up. We like that. Clarity is always a good thing. Next up, we're looking at Scorpio. Okay, so Scorpios, we have the Magician showing up in reverse. So here's the thing. I feel like we need to be on our toes about the types of people that we're letting into our sphere of influence today, and about what we're buying into from the people who are in our sphere of influence. For me right now, this Magician is coming across as trickster energy. So this is somebody who is creating illusions, probably trying to take advantage of us in some way or another. So we just want to pay attention. If we're agreeing to something today, we want to make sure that we have done our due diligence and that we've checked out all the finer print on whatever that deal might be. Before we agree to anything, we want to make sure we know exactly what we're getting into, because this person is probably not going to be volunteering all of that information just on their own, and they may not be telling us the truth if we ask them directly. So it's good to get a different source of information about this other than what's coming out of this person's mouth. Okay? So that's for Scorpios. Next up, let's look at Sagittarius. Sagittarius, you guys have the Knight of Clubs showing up here. What's going on here? I really feel like this is you taking some kind of inspired action. You're doing something that makes you feel happy and productive. It feels like you're making progress towards some goal that you have today. We like that. Next up, Capricorn. Capricorns with the Seven of Coins showing up in reverse. This is telling me that you were expecting to be paid back or paid off today for something that you had invested in one way or another, whether you invested time, energy, money, whatever. And with this card coming in reverse, this is telling me that it's not payday just yet, and that you're going to have to be patient until that money actually, or whatever this payoff is, comes back to you. Okay, so not just yet, Capricorns. Yeah. Next up, Aquarius. So Aquarius, you guys have the Ace of Clubs today, and the Ace of Clubs in reverse is just meaning that you are realizing that there's something that you need to do, and you're not very excited about doing it. That's all. It's just something that may be tedious, or it doesn't allow you to be creative, but it is something that needs to be done that you're realizing. Okay, next up we have Pisces. Pisces, we have the Four of Swords showing up in reverse for you. This just tells me you're doing something in a different location. I don't think it was you that got this card yesterday. Somebody did. Okay, so doing something in a different location, that could be taking your kid to a different daycare or a different babysitter. This could be working from home when you normally work from the office. This could be that you're actually on vacation, so you're spending the whole day in a different location. You could be having a meal at a different location. Lots of different ways that this can manifest, but something is happening at a different location with that Four of Swords showing up in reverse today, Pisces. Thank you guys very much for being here. I do appreciate it. Thank you for all of your wonderful support. And I'm looking forward to working with some of you in person later on today. But the rest of you, I will see back on the next video. Peace out.